Hey guys, hopefully we're all set for an awesome weekend. I know I certainly am. I've got the children with me for the next week because it's half term here in Stockport, which is where I live. I'm in my base location, my house. I've created this nice little environment in my back garden so that I can come out here and relax. You can hear the birds still. It's really nice. We are in quite an urban built up area, but you can create that little sanctuary for yourself just so you can have a little bit of time out when you need to get your thoughts and you don't have time to go, say, to the park or out into the hills. Somewhere where you can just sit, have a quick 5-minute reflection, and then get ready to crack on with the day. So, because I've got the children with me, I thought it was a really good opportunity to talk about relationships, and more importantly, about your relationship with children. So, my boys, I've got 3 of them. They ranging age from airplane. So, in terms of the relationship that I've got with them, I think it's really important because a lot of you will be aware that some of the traumas that we take through to us, through to adult life with us, come from when we were children. So they really need protecting now, so that they can avoid as much of these traumas and issues as they move forward into their adult life. And so I am very conscious of that. I was going through a very difficult period 2 years ago, and so I actually lost contact with them for a year. It was the right decision at the time because my head wasn't in the right place. So I've worked very hard to, obviously fix myself, which is where the information that I'm giving you to comes from. But I also had to make sure that I was ready to be able to be responsible for them again, and I didn't want that to affect them any more than it did do in the short time that they saw me struggling. Our relationship's back to where it should be now. And I do put a massive importance on, obviously supporting them and bringing them up in the correct manner so that they can face adult life like adults, like men, rather than expecting too much from other people. And it's also, as we talked about in the money and finance lessons, giving them the skills and the confidence to go out and get what they need and achieve to their maximum potential throughout their adult life. So that's what I feel that my role as a father is, to give them the man skills that they require, but also to instill in them that sense of drive and motivation to go and achieve themselves, because they're going to get to a point where they need to provide for their own families. But again, it's about balance, because when I was in the military, I put my military career before anything. It's even an adage in the army that the army comes first and family a close second. Well, families don't tend to agree with that, and you may have experienced that also when you're trying to further your career. Family will suffer. It can lead to divorce. It can lead to you not spending any time with your children, and so you really have to find that balance. That was one of the motivating factors for me to seek help to fix myself and to get out of the army, because I didn't want to get to a point when the children are 20 and they don't really know me and they call me Mr. Moore rather than Dad. It's very important for me, and your children give you a massive sense of enjoyment of life as well, so you both get something from this. And it's so important that you have been given this position of responsibility to make these children the adults of the future, and so therefore you have to put maximum effort into it, and it can't be enough for you just to put money in the bank. You have to give them the elements that their mother can't give them either. You also, if you do, like me, end up separating from the mother of your children or the father of your children, you need to try your absolute hardest to keep that relationship as amicable as possible. Because yes, you've got your issues between yourselves, but the children don't need to see that. They don't need to see you bickering. Facebook statuses about how bad your ex is, no. Big no-no. Have a bit of decorum, have a bit of class, keep it in-house. If you've got any issues, talk to each other, and do it for the children. You don't have to stay together with them, but you certainly have to work together as a team, because you've both brought these children into the world. There's also obviously issues as you move forward with new partnerships, finding a balance between your new partner and your old partner, because ultimately you have a history together. You're never going to walk away from their life with the children. So everyone has to act like adults and work together. I've had issues with it. Everyone will do, but you know what? You work towards it and you achieve success, because that's what you should be doing. A lot of children growing up who are very comfortable, on social media or walking around around town, but take them out of the comfort zone into the hills and they're completely lost. This is us having the skills that we have had for thousands of years, we've lost over recent generations, so we need to make sure that we've got that, and that's why I look at bushcraft a lot. And it'll also tie into the children's spirituality as well as they move forward, because they need to be able to connect with nature, and as I've already taught you about, nature is a massive connection with spirituality, beliefs, and that all helps you as you strive towards fulfilling your potential and achieving your goals. And ultimately, you want to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I've done a good job. You don't want to cut corners, you don't want to be choosing going out with your mates, drinking, rather than being with the children. You brought these children into the world, so put the effort into making them the best adults that they can be. So we're going to have an awesome weekend going over to the scout camp. I'm not really sure what we're going to be doing, but it'll involve mud. It won't be too cold because the temperature's actually risen quite recently. But it's going to be fun, so hopefully you guys have an awesome weekend. Continue to like the videos, we're doing really great with growing this community, it's just going astronomical at the moment. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can make sure you don't miss any of the videos. And as I said, we are actually producing a longer money and finance video as we speak, so that'll be probably on the channel next week. Make sure you have a look at it and make sure you give us some feedback so that we can adjust it if we need to. Make sure that we can answer all the questions that you've got to ask, and we'll continue to grow this community. We're doing it together, and it's going to be amazing. Thank you for listening.